Now we're looking at the song Hurt. This song has two chord progressions. The verses are the same, first verse, second verse, and the chord progression is A minor, followed by C, followed by D, and you'll see that sometimes we use D2, which is the new chord in the module. And if you listen closely, I'll point this out, you will notice that sometimes you hear the F sharp of the D chord on the first string second fret, and sometimes when he plays the chord, which mostly sounds like D, you'll hear a first string open, and that means he's playing a D2, because a D2 is just a D but with the open first string. That's the second note of the D scale, hence D2. All right, during this whole verse, we've got the chord progression A minor, C, D. Here's how you're going to do it. Instead of strumming it, you're doing a particular picking pattern. It's easiest to use pick for this song. You could use fingerstyle. I'm going to teach it with pick. And you're playing the A minor chord. And then instead of strumming, you're going to pluck the fifth string, followed by the fourth string, followed by the remaining three strings. So you're doing pluck, pluck, strum. Don't do. He only does the remaining three strings on the strum. And that's how it gives it that light, natural sound. Pluck, pluck, strum the remaining. Okay, so you're going to do that once with the A minor chord. And you can just drag the pick. That's what I like to do. It works really naturally and comfortably on the guitar. Then we immediately go to the C chord. So all that we're doing, remember, with the left hand is just moving third finger to fifth string, third fret. So 1 and 2 remain in the same place. And we do that same pluck strum pattern on the C. So fifth, fourth, strum the remaining three strings. So far we have, then we go to the C chord, same pattern. And then we're going to go to the D chord, and we're going to pluck starting with the fourth string now. Why? Because in a D chord, we don't strum that fifth string open in our root position D chord. So we're going to do the same basic pattern, but now fourth string, third string, remaining two strings. Now, sometimes you'll hear that he is not pressing down that second string, because you can hear the, first string, second finger. You can hear that first string open. And then sometimes you may play it either way. It's going to sound fine both ways. So if you want to mix that up, that's perfectly fine. So to recap, for all of the verses, and there are just two verses, but it's just repeating the same three chord pattern the entire time. That's A minor. Then we do the same thing on C, then D or D2. Again. Just repeating this over and over. Okay, and in the song, it's I would say it's a medium tempo, so you can experiment with that. I would recommend practicing along with the audio or the video that I linked in the module, and you can of course speed that up or slow it down as you need. Okay, so for every verse, that's important, and remember that's also the intro, so it does this twice by itself. Then again, this is the second time. And now he starts singing. So 8 more times with the singing. Okay. Then we go to the chorus. Oh, one thing about the rhythm, which you'll notice from practicing the song, is that it does hold longer on the A minor. So if I were counting, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you think of this as two measures of 4/4 time, the A minor chord is one full measure, and then that second measure divides up 2 counts on C and 2 counts on D or D2. Let's go to the chorus. The first chorus and the second chorus have the same chord progression, which is G, followed by A minor, followed by F, followed by C over G. That's a chord we learned earlier. And in the first chorus, we are going to be doing 4 strums, each chord. A minor, F, C over G, then we do it again, and it does it 4 times through. C over G, here's the last time. Notice in parentheses it says last time G, F, A minor, or sorry, G, A minor, F, and now regular G. So instead of going to C over G for that last one, we go to regular G, 4 strums, and then we go to the second verse, which is back to the A minor, C, D, or D2 with the picking pattern. And it's going to do that chord progression 10 more times again, 2 times as an interlude, like the intro, and then 8 more times with the singing. We go through that whole second verse with the same pattern. Now we get to the second chorus. This is the bottom of the page. It's the same chord progression. However, now, if you listen to the recording, you'll notice that he is building the song in intensity by doubling the strum, strumming essentially eighth notes instead of quarter notes. So instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, we're going to do 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and C over G. Now, why, you might ask, why don't we do down, up, down, up? Well, it has a different feel, a different sound to it. When we do all downstroke, we have a couple things happening. We're focusing on hitting the bass notes, the lower parts of the chord first, so it gives it a darker, deeper sound. We also have an even quality to it. We can control that intensity more than if we're doing down, up, down, up, down, up, where these top notes really stand out. And it has kind of a more, let's say, insistent or driving sound. You can control that much more than sounds a little too folksy for this. This is more of an urgent sound to match the really dark content of the lyrics, which sure are about loss and disappointment, but the song was literally written about addiction, in particular heroin addiction, which Trent Reznor suffered from. And Johnny Cash, if you know anything about his story, was dependent upon drugs and alcohol for much of his career and also struggled with that, which is why I think this was a great choice for him to cover this Nine Inch Nails song written by Trent Reznor. So let's go through that whole thing now, and you can play along. And also, I recommend listening to the original version on YouTube and playing along with that, the cover version. You can also listen to the original, which is great. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now he starts singing. Sometimes I'm doing the D2 just to mix it up. Then we'll go to the chorus. This is the first chorus. Quarter note strums. F, C over G. Repeat. C over G. Over G. And now regular G this time. And then we go back to the verse. This is the second verse. Same chord progression as the first. A minor, C, D or D2. Last time. Now we go to the second chorus, and we're going to do those eighth notes. All downstroke, F, C over G. Again. Now there are more lyrics here, so it does it 2 more times. 6 times progression instead of 4. C over G. Last time. And we end with 1 strum on G. And he sings, "I Would Find a Way," a cappella, meaning voice alone. And this is a nice and effective way of wrapping up the song. It's unresolved. Remember, this song is in the key of A minor. So if we want it to sound finished or resolved, we would end on A minor. Instead, he ends on G, which fits the lyrics nicely. If I could start again a million miles away, I would keep myself, I would find a way. So we don't know if he does find a way. We know that it ends unresolved, both lyrically and musically. And that's great songwriting.